Basically, decans are 10-degree divisions of the 30-degree whole sign segments. And so each degree like goes from like 0 to 9, 0 to 9, that's the first 10. Then we have 10 to 20 or 10 to 19, that's the second set right there. And the third set would be 20 to 29 degrees. And so all of this is what would be known as the decans. And the decans, they all have their different rulerships. I want to look at the Chaldean one in particular because Venus and Mars is, well, Chaldean Mars is the Chaldean decan for that this portion of Capricorn, because it's gonna be around like 11 to 12 degrees ish of Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn, and in the constellation of Capricorn. Um, so this is going to bring up many relationship themes. This is also going to bring up many action-oriented themes, many strategical themes, right? We're going to be planning for something to be happening. We're laying the groundwork. We are getting focused, getting real focused, but we're also, getting caught up in the past a little bit too. Due to Capricorn sign being here, we're also being caught up in the past a little bit. And, we have to, ultimately let that go. We have to ultimately let that go for this full moon. We can't hold on to the past. We have to try with all of our muster, right? And we have to, again, in opposition to Jupiter and Cancer, we have to make sure we are looking at, we have to make sure we are also looking at the way that we have faith right now. Right now, our faith is soft flowing. Right now, our faith is nurturing, right? It's nurturing to have faith right now. You need to have faith to take care of yourself. You need to believe in something optimistic, but you also need to understand that the only way that you can be optimistic is by moving and actually and I think Jupiter and Cancer also kind of makes Cancer energy less settled. It makes it more interested in wanting to travel and find a different place, what I was just saying in the last video. And that being in opposition to the moon in Capricorn, our comfort zone, the past, right? The legacy, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's also what 10th house is about, honor and legacy, right? But it's also, too, also about the ancestry. It's also about, being literally the only one of its kind. It's a hybridity between, a land animal and a sea animal. And, it's the convergence between both of those worlds. The marine life, which would represent the much more ancient life forms that existed before anything else on land, and the land animals would be the aftermath of that. The creatures who went through all of these different periods of evolutions and had to go through so many adaptation in these more so kind of rougher environments and all that other type of stuff. And I think that's interesting too, to think about Capricorn from that perspective. But also Capricorn is a very magical energy as well. So it's connected. It's also connecting with spirituality. It's also connecting with spirit. It's also connecting with God, and it's more so of a sign of devotion to God. It's more of a sign of devotion, like a devotional practice to God. It's a sign of believing in God, right, and believing that even though things take time, right. Capricorn being ruled by Saturn, things take time. And even though things are taking time right now, because we're still in Saturn and Pisces, by the way, Saturn is also stepping in and answering and fetching to this full moon here. And even the next lunation that will happen in Aquarius, right, Saturn will be answering to that. But right now, it's like, again, even though things will take time, you have to have faith and you have to believe, right? But what is that belief now being informed by? How you feel in the current environment that you're in. And so for over here in Marion, for me, this is going to be, the full moon is going to go exact during a Leo rising hour. So it's going to, the Leo is going to be on the ascendant. And so this hour is going to be filled with a lot of sternness. It's going to be filled with a lot, like that hour is going to be filled with a lot of sternness, a lot of kind of, whew, it's going to be a lot of sternness, a lot of, kind of like combat, a lot of like conflict, a lot of just like kind of frustration too, but also an opportunity to make something out of that frustration, an opportunity to entertain yourself out of that frustration, an opportunity to pay attention to what feels good, and to pay attention to your animal instincts as well, because humans always forget that, right? And what does that have to do with it, right? Again, it has everything to do with it. Even the South Node being in Leo right now, again, is chipping away at, these false kind of self-expressions that we have latched onto, right, in order to appear strong, or in order to appear, intimidating, or appear tough, right? And it's making us go through honestly and truly who you really are, right? What is really inside, or not really inside, but what is really on the outside of you. But yeah, going back to Capricorn full moon, again, that major opposition that the moon is going to be having to Jupiter in Cancer, and it's also going to be with Pluto. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about Pluto. But Pluto being there is going to give a more kind of cold, distant, detached feeling. It's gonna feel pretty renewing, not in a more so pleasant sense. It's gonna be more so like digesting something again that doesn't emotionally feel good to sit with, but because it gives you clarity when you go back home, right? The other side of this Capricorn opposition, the Cancer part, Jupiter conjunct the Sun in Cancer, when you go back home, then that's when you start to get the higher perspective of what's really going on. And so I'll start from example, right? Well, actually, no, I won't even speak on personal thing. I just want to keep it just this. But it's just like when you think about a certain, environment, right, and where you're placed, you may think that sometimes just moving out of, the physical location that you're in, right, will always help you. But if that location has the same atmosphere, has the same thing, like, you may even think that just changing jobs is gonna be the only answer. No, you have to change jobs, and you also have to, while you're in that job, that new job, you have to then prepare yourself to go towards something and work towards something you actually want to do, because you can't be stuck in jobs anymore. You can't be stuck in jobs that don't resonate and don't align with you anymore. You have to be willing to accept how you emotionally feel about these workplaces. You have to. And you have to have faith that God will direct you towards a better job situation. You have to have faith. But for right now, you have to just face the music and accept what it is.